this is Erin Harrison coming to you from Cloud Expo at the Santa Clara Convention Center, and I'm joined today by Ken Salchow, Senior Manager of Technical Marketing and Syndication for F5. Welcome, Ken.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Thanks for being here. So tell us who F5 is and what you guys are doing at a Cloud Expo.
It's a good question. So F5 has been in the business of application delivery for many, many years. So we've focused on enabling our enterprise customers to have applications that are always secure, fast, and available. So when you go to access your email or whatever it is, we make sure that you can connect to that. And we spent a lot of time working on figuring out how to allow our enterprise customers to manage all the different types of devices that are out there that are accessing it. So your iPhones, your Androids, your Symbian devices, iPads, all these types of things. Because each different device reacts to the network differently. You use Wi-Fi networks, you use 3G networks. And we've spent a lot of time creating solutions that enable our customers to dynamically adapt to those situations so that we maintain security and performance. Now with the advent of virtualization and cloud, we have to take a look at the backside because traditionally those applications have always been squarely in the data center. And now with cloud computing and virtualization, those applications can move just as freely as you can move with your device. So what we're doing here is talking about the things we can do to help our customers take advantage of cloud as another resource and design an architecture which allows them to provide that same control, the same security, the same performance, regardless of where those applications are at as well.
Okay, and who primarily is your customer base?
Our customer base is generally, I get this question a lot, so we generally sell to enterprise customers.
Okay.
However, and it's funny, I was just talking about this with somebody else, but we sell to anybody whose core business relies on applications being available. Okay. So we've sold large deals to small customers, people you wouldn't even think of, probably people you've never even heard of. But because their business relies on those applications being available all the time, they're willing to invest in an infrastructure that enables them to do that.
And what are you hearing, if anything, from your customers in terms of security concerns, compliance issues?
That's one of the big things that we hear is that where cloud computing seems to be different from a traditional data center or even a hosted environment is that our customers are very concerned about how do they maintain control of the security of those applications. Right. How do they make sure that the same policies that they've enacted in their data center are applied when it goes out to the cloud? In the same manner, the same thing with performance. How can you guarantee that the performance of your application is going to be the same if it moves to the cloud as it was when it's in your data center? And then also, how do you move between those? How do you enable things like cloud bursting where the application moves out to the cloud dynamically and you still connect people to that? So that's the big concern we continue to hear. And what we do is we offer them a solution that allows them to maintain that control and to dynamically adapt as these applications move, so that they're always applying the same security policies, the same performance policies.
Okay. And another big issue, an issue that you're going to be addressing in your speaking engagement in a couple of days is how to enable IT on demand. So give us a preview of what you're going to be talking about.
So the big thing I'm going to start out my presentation with is the fact that enterprise IT is in a very poor position right now. They're actually almost becoming obsolete. And that's because the business is able to circumvent IT and provision applications all on their own because of SaaS applications, platform as a service applications. They do it without IT's involvement. And at the same time, many users are having things like iPhones and iPads, and they're starting to provision cloud services for their own purposes to do the same things that they used to go to IT to. And we've gotten to a point where these devices are so sophisticated that my mom has an iPhone. My mom provisions her own applications.
Right.
They don't need IT to support that. And so what we're saying is that IT needs to transform what they do. And they need to quit doing the same things we've historically done as far as pushing standards of applications down, and they need to adapt to be that strategic point of control, that control center in the center that coordinates between those users' needs, the business needs, and potentially cloud as a resource. So what they really need to do is just change the way they do things and become the central point of control. And that is how they're going to achieve the end goal. They're going to be able to maintain that control. They're going to be able to do the security, the performance, and that's the key to enabling the dynamic IT, is using cloud as just another resource.
Okay, great. And before we wrap up, are there any trends that you're following in terms of the evolution of cloud as we go into 2011?
I think one of the big things is that, first of all, virtualization is not over. I've heard some people say that it is, but it's not. It's going to continue. The second thing is that, and I've heard this around the floor, is that really the things that I've been talking about with our enterprise customers, it starts in your own data center. The whole notion of creating a private cloud and then migrating to a public cloud, treating all your applications the same, I think is going to be a big trend that people are going to be looking at this year. Doesn't mean that the public cloud providers aren't going to be getting business, but I think there's going to be a lot of focus on how to do that in-house, take baby steps before they move on.
Okay, all right, well thank you, Ken. I've been speaking with Ken Salchow, Senior Manager, Technical Marketing and Syndication for F5. I'm Erin Harrison, coming to you from the Santa Clara Convention Center at Cloud Expo.